imports, the U.S. is buying imports of uranium from Russia. How does that sit with you?
Yeah, and it's entirely true. So to enrich uranium, it isn't the mining of uranium that's the problem, but to enrich it is a large industrial process developed here in the United States. And then when the Cold War ended, Russia, as they dismantled their uranium from their weapons, has been very active in flooding the market with enriched uranium. And sadly, the enrichment capacity in the United States and around the world got depleted so that everyone depends on Russian enriched uranium. Not for all of it, but for enough of it that it's bothersome. So there's a group, the Sapporo 5, Japan, the United States, Canada, France, and the United Kingdom are all working together to rapidly grow our enrichment capacity so that we can displace all Russian imported enriched uranium in the next 2.5 years. We have to move fast to do that. We wish we weren't sending money to Russia, but this is money measured in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The oil and gas imports of Europe are in the tens of billions of dollars, so 100 times larger. I wish we could cut off all the enriched uranium. Unfortunately, we can't. And for oil and gas, Europe can cut off all imports of oil and gas from Russia. We can supply all the gas that currently comes from Russia. We can supply the oil and refined products that go into Europe from Russia as well. That one's actually achievable now, and the dollars are much bigger.
So there's another way that Russia gets its uranium to the U.S., and that is through China. And the Energy Department launched a probe in that in the last administration. What are your concerns about that, and where's it going?
Oh, very concerned about that. So yeah, we've continued to figure out how can we trace the origin of this material, and no question about that. If you stop importing Russian stuff directly, they find other avenues. China is one of those avenues. So we continue to try to find and trace where that's coming from so that it can be cut off as well.
And how would that happen?
To import enriched uranium in the United States, you need a permit. You know, obviously these are materials. We will not issue permits for importing Russian uranium. In fact, you need a permit or an exception today to do it. We want someone to show there's no other way to run their power plants and supply it without this imported Russian uranium. You need a special exception to do that today. And as soon as we can stop granting those special exceptions, we will.
Now, you've kept, let's switch to coal for a second. You have kept